As someone who loves playing physical games on actual hardware, I love what Retrobit has been doing in recent years for the retro gaming market. It's one of those things where I've been able to play games that I wouldn't have access to otherwise. I mean, yes, you can go ahead and you can download ROMs off the internet and play them that way. I'm not about that. I don't like illegally downloading ROMs from the internet. But that's where I love the fact that, like, they've released, Eliminate Down, Mega Man The Wily Wars, Gaiaris, Hammer and Harry 1 and 2. A lot of games, too, that were stuck in Japan and are now available here in the United States. That's where their latest release here that we're going to talk about today is all about. This was a game that was only available in Japan, and it is now coming to English-speaking markets. I'm talking about ShockMan Zero. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. We are talking about Kaizou Choujin Schbibinman Zero, or ShockMan Zero for the Super Nintendo, and it is coming to North America and Europe from Retrobit. In North America, you're looking at $59.99 for the MSRP, $64.99 in the EU. Dr. Gotokuji's newly invented engine has been stolen by the evil BB Dan group. They have begun to invade the city using their cyber henchmen under the orders of their leader, the mad scientist Dr. Shen Kung. It's up to Schbibinman to stand up to them, the powerful duo of Raita and Azuki. In this action title, you'll go through 8 different stages filled with unique enemies and big boss fights. Available officially in English for the very first time on a physical cartridge. This game is easy to play, but challenging to master. Grab a friend and enjoy the 2-player mode to unleash powerful team attacks. So with this, you do get the official Japanese version, officially localized to English. There's a Shock Yellow 16-bit cartridge, either NTSC or PAL, depending on your region. A numbered deluxe magnetic hardcover cartridge package, which they have done this with a lot of their re-releases lately, and I absolutely love. A full-colored instruction manual, and it also features exclusive artwork from Moises Juarez, aka DANMAKUMAN. Easy for me to say. The pre-order window is open from today, June 24th, and these are estimated to arrive in Q3 of 2024. As far as where you can pre-order this in North America, I highly recommend Castlevania Games and Rondo products. You can also get it from Limited Run Games and other retailers that carry Retrobit products. How do you pronounce it? Well, this is a thing that I have been having trouble with. It's either Schbibinman or Schbibinman. Regardless, their release includes the subtitle ShockMan Zero if you prefer to use that instead. Included in the release will be, as I mentioned, the embellished slipcover, a numbered hardcover magnetic cartridge box, a full-colored instruction manual, and a Shock Yellow 16-bit cartridge for the Super Nintendo consoles. Like always, how many will be made is determined by the number of people that pre-order. If 4,000 people order, there'll be a little bit more than that to cover the pre-orders and have some open stock. 5,000, you'll have a little bit more than that too. They do not plan on doing another version of this again. Like all of their re-releases, they intend to keep this version unique as to keep it distinct from other versions. Retrobit has commissioned new artwork by Moises Juarez, aka DANMAKUMAN, to provide additional artwork. His amazing work will be showcased across the box art and in the manual. You may wonder, is this a translation patch or did someone else's English translation get copied? So they actually have a talented programmer who was credited for their work on this translation. They did not utilize any existing script or work. Now, there was a Cyber Citizen ShockMan Zero release announced recently, and this is completely separate and independent from that. Retrobit has nothing to do with that release, as theirs is in progress since last year, and thus they were unaware of the digital release. The translation logos, the artwork, and everything have been commissioned specifically for this release and is separate from that digital release. As far as what region to get the cartridge for, each region will have its own version. North America retailers will have the NTSC U Super Nintendo cartridge, and European retailers will carry the PAL Super NES version. This is due to the shape of the cartridge being different between both regions. However, the boards are exactly the same. If PAL users find the cartridge unresponsive, a quick double reset on the console should enable PAL mode. One of the things I love about the way Retrobit does their Super Nintendo and pretty much all of their re-releases is they take extra care to make sure that the PCBs are beveled and that they feature the correct 5-volt chips to just protect users and make sure that they can use it safely and easily on their consoles and not have to worry about any damage. This cartridge has been tested with the original Super Nintendo and most third-party consoles, so things like the Super Retro Trio 3 Plus should work without a problem. Some third-party consoles that utilize region selection switches may need to run the game in NTSC 60Hz first and then make the adjustment as needed. For PAL, it is compatible with the PAL Super Nintendo console as well as limited third-party console. If you have a Japanese Super Famicom, which version do you get? Well, it's actually pretty simple and it's beautiful because it's the same board in both cases. So whether it's the 60 Hz game that you need or the 50 Hz, what you do is you buy the PAL version, put it into your system, and it should work without a problem. Were there any other changes made to the game? This is the original Japanese game that has been fully translated into English. This goes for both the dialogue as well as item names that appear throughout the game. Licensing has also been updated to reflect this release to be distinctive from any others. Beyond that, all gameplay was kept intact, so you're going to have the exact same experience on this as the original. You'll just be able to read it. One of the really cool things about this is the fact that it gives me, as they address themselves, an opportunity to play a game I had never heard of before. I love that. I love the fact that I can expand my library with games that either I knew about and could never get here in the States or maybe never heard about, and now that I've played them, I absolutely love them. Retrobit always takes care of the retro gaming community with these re-releases. You know, they make them different enough so that if you have an original or you imported an original, it's not going to affect the market. So you don't have to worry about the value of your originals going down. Often, a lot of times, what happens is when the re-release comes out or the limited edition, people want to go back and get the originals. So those values go up. Metal Storm, perfect example. I would love to go back in time to my first game convention that I went to and get a copy of Metal Storm for around $100. They're a lot more than that now. You can get these through Rondo Products and Castlemania Games. That's right, the Castle is back. It's one of those things you can pre-order them at the time that this video is being posted, and there is a limited window. And you know, if it's going to be anything like what we have here with some of these other sets, it's going to be fantastic. And I love the fact that I'm able to go ahead and get an officially licensed new version of a game I've never played before, I've never heard of before, but it's one of those where I may fall in love with. A perfect example of that is going to be Holy Diver. I had never played it before. They did their re-release. That was one of their first that they did, and it's magnificent. Same thing with Metal Storm. Now, one of the things that Retrobit takes extra care about is they don't want to negatively affect the community. It's one of the reasons why they work so hard with the original developers and publishers to make sure that this is as authentic a release as possible. And you know, minor changes as far as language. Other than that, this is the exact same game that was originally released. I love the fact that they take the extra attention to details where they change the cartridge color or other things just enough so that it doesn't negatively affect the value of those who have the originals. Oftentimes, what I have noticed is that when the re-releases or the special editions come out, the value of the originals go up because people play the re-releases, they fall in love with them, and they want to get the originals. Perfect example there, Metal Storm. I had never played it before. I always knew that it was a great game. I wish I could go back in time now and get an original from the very first game convention where I saw it. It was around $100. It's not around $100 anymore, I tell you that much. But I'm very excited to go ahead and get a new game into the collection. This really does look like it'll be a whole lot of fun. Now, like I mentioned, Rondo Products, CastlemaniaGames.com, I'll have links down below where you can check them out through both sites. There you can also get them through their UK and their European sites, Spell & Sant and Dragonbox, two of their partners that they have over there. And also Castlemania Games, they ship worldwide. Shipping may be an extra cost, of course, but something kind of be aware of there. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this? Is this something that you would pick up? Did you hear of the original, and are you excited for this re-release? Now, if you do want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. That way every time we do upload new videos, you are kept informed and up to date. And if you want to check out some of our other videos that we've done talking about, Eliminate Down or Mega Man the Wily Wars or Gaiaris or Hammer and Harry, I will have links to our Retrobit playlist for you right up there. Go ahead and check it out. There is so much cool stuff we have covered with them over the years.